Greetings. Today I'm going to present to you World Vision's Early Warning for Early Action initiative, which started nearly 2 years ago. At the outset, our brief was to create a system that can quickly analyze the multiple early warning data and information streams available to us, both from secondary and primary sources. To track changes over time, this is especially important in identifying slow onset emergencies as they take root. To be able to roughly compare the degree of severity between countries to improve planning and resource application. We also need an approach that leads to early management and programming actions, as like so many humanitarian agencies, our response timeliness has not been optimal. Probably the best way to show you our progress to date is to start by presenting our summary monthly report and a country report. So, here's our August regional report, which was sent out by mail to our key stakeholders. Such reports have been generated for some 14 months with regular feedback being used to improve the functionality of the app. The report starts with a summary graph, which is a snapshot comparing the relative situation in our Southern Africa countries. Country names are listed horizontally. Vertically, in red, we have the warning index, and to the right, in blue, we have the population at risk. The warning index is captured by the wide red bars, whilst the population at risk is captured by the narrow blue bars. It is important to have both, since the index is representing the worst case scenario in the country. This might represent anything from an emergency affecting a few hundred people to a few million. Hence, if the index is reflecting a high level of alert but few people, then this is an emergency that should be dealt with locally, as for example, South Africa. On the other hand, if the index reflects a high level of alert with millions of people at risk, then this may require external attention. So, for example, in our August report, we see South Africa reaching emergency levels, but with only a few thousand people affected by floods. Whilst, for example, Malawi and Angola are also indicating emergency levels, but far more people are affected by poor crop harvest in each of these countries. You will also see on the graph that colored lines separate the continuum that moves countries from normal to watch, warning, and emergency. Each of these lines represents a significant escalation of the situation. Emergencies are normally geographically defined, particularly smaller ones. A recent innovation has been to identify emergencies within the confines of the smallest administrative boundaries that we could get hold of. This helps us visualize where the emergency is developing, whether we have existing programming in the area, as well as allowing us to overlay other facts and figures available to us. Finally, at the base of the report, we have the individual country trend graphs. Click each tab and you'll see the trends for the past 14 months. So you'll see this example of Malawi, where we had emergency situation all the way through to April this year. Then we went out of emergency, fewer people were affected, and now we're moving back into emergency again. The light orange line is the index coming in from June, July last year, and the red one is starting from October 12 through to this financial year, and these months basically reflect the crop harvest season of the country. So we would have one for Mozambique, for Swaziland, Zimbabwe, etc. I have now moved you on to our automated early warning and early action report at a country level. To start with on the report, we have the graph which you are now familiar with. This is our trend graph for Malawi. Beneath it is an automated list of the type of hazard which your indicators are suggesting might be at play. Then we move on to well-vision internal management decision-making processes which might need to be activated. These are selected using an algorithm which considers the index warning level, the numbers of people at risk, and the types of hazards that are being triggered. And those hazards are listed up above here. Finally, we have a list of sectors and subsectors, which the country office thinks it might include in either their risk reduction, preparedness, or response programming. Click here for the full report, and this gives a range of programming options for each sector. So here you see at the top the list of sectors and subsectors that have been carried forward into the report. The neat thing about this part of the app is that algorithms interpret the indicators, which then lead to an automated list of possible sectors and activities being generated. The benefits of this being that these options are developed by experts today prior to the emerging situation, and hence the suggestions are more objective and complete. So here in one glance, you get the warning trend, the types of hazards being indicated by the triggers, the management decision making, and the programming options that are being considered. This whole report is generated using a simple 4-step process, with the key step being step 1. This is the indicator dashboard. Within the indicator dashboard, we have some 77 indicators with 108 triggers between them. Each trigger represents a progression of the emergency situation and is answered with a simple yes or no answer. These are automatically interpreted into an index. The index, in combination with the population data and the triggers themselves, is carried through into the rest of the tool. Now, if you want to have an idea of how the whole Early Warning Buster works, you can visit our website, which can be found on this page here. Click the YouTube video, and this will guide you through how to fill out the tool and design your program around the indicators. Now, what I'm going to make clear is that, as with all such apps and tools, they're as good as their user. Feed in rubbish and garbage will come out. Feed in good information and still you'll need to customize it. It's an app that aims to achieve a great deal, and as such there's still much that can be improved. But I do believe we have a sound beginning and a good proof of concept. Thanks for your time.